My name is Michael, and 4 months ago, I quit my job to create the best productivity app for gamers. And I made this because 5 years ago, I could not stop procrastinating, but I was so productive within video games. I was the most productive person with video games, but I did not how to transfer that productivity and that drive and that effort and energy into real life. And so instead of just quitting video games cold turkey, what I did instead was look at why I was so addicted to playing games that weren't just cheap dopamine, but games that were really hard. Games that really engaged me to do extra research on something that didn't even pay me, something that I wouldn't get any kind of recognition or status for or whatever. And the thing is, I realized that there is a gold mine of productivity hacks within game design that we completely ignore because everyone else is treating their lives like a corporate business. And the problem with that is exactly what we're seeing rise up so much in this period of YouTube, where everyone is talking about burnout and talking about returning to a normal life, whatever that means. The way that we're taught to design life by default is like a corporate business. It's kind of what we're taught in schools. For those of you watching this early, before it blows up, you'll be able to get this template for free. And I'm going to show you the 2 best features that literally no other Notion template has, but they actually really need. Getting straight into it is the first best feature, which is an achievement system. So you're paying someone to give you an app to organize your whole life. You're going to put your whole life within this whole thing, but they're not going to encourage you to do more with your life, to appreciate all the things that you've done, which are amazing. They're not going to give you a system to do that. What are you paying them for? I'm going to show you what it looks like when you understand, organize, and optimize every area of your life, and you encourage yourself to do more in life by managing it all in one app. Here's my own achievement system over here. And so right on my own dashboard of life game design, the first few things I see are all the different areas of my life, which I'll get into that next. That's the next best feature that no other template has. Over here, I get to see all the things that I've recently achieved in terms of projects. This is one of my favorite quotes from Alex Hormozi that inspired me to do this, apart from the inspiration from obviously game design. But he says that you do not become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror. You have to build an undeniable stack of proof that you are the person that you say you are. And the thing is, there are people on social media who are liking this so much. There are people who are going crazy and really reinforcing that this is so important for everyone to do. But no one has actually made an actionable framework to put that into practice. And honestly, the reason why it looks like I have so much energy and it looks like I'm trying to sell this to you is because it pisses me off that all of this advice on the internet is really amazing, but there is no actionable framework to actually put it into place and to use it and to get the benefit out of it. Honestly, 90% of YouTube these days is just people wanting to be inspirational. 99% of Instagram these days is just people doing these challenges to gain followers to look like they can be inspirational people. They don't actually want to give people the tools and frameworks to help them. They just want to be in the spotlight and be like, oh, look at me, I'm inspiring these people over here. And it has got me so worked up. Oh my God, I had to calm myself down. Just to clear the air, I'm giving this app away for free while it's in its alpha stages. It's 95% complete. All I need to do is finalize the video tutorials, do some tweaking based on the feedback that I get from my community, and then it'll be launched as a fully paid product. But if you hop on the train before then, you can get all of this for free and access exclusive perks within my community for becoming an alpha tester. I need to stop ranting and show you what this is about. So like I said, this is the achievements page, and this is just the recent achievements that I've made. And I can also see this in a view where it's just a gallery of things. And the thing is, we really need to define what achievement looks like, because I have a series of podcasts where, oh my God, I'm ranting again. Wait, no, I've got to show you first. And this tab over here is really special, and it kind of ties in with the second best feature of life game design, again, that no other template has, that they crucially need, and that is a recipe for life. Here it is. This is OctaCore. These are all the different areas of life that we can find fulfillment in, but that we also need to manage to create a balanced life. This is a system for you to find fulfillment in your life, to understand all the areas of life, to do your time blocking with the color codings. There is so much to this framework that I need to share that I don't have the time to record videos about. But basically, if you look at these different pages over here, and I'll turn them into pictures so you can get an idea of what it looks like. Basically, there are 8 core areas of life that we need to manage, understand, and optimize to live a fulfilling life. And if you don't know these areas of your life, or you feel like this is overwhelming, this video isn't for you. I'm looking for gamers who understand complex systems, because the more people try and simplify life, the less you can get done in life, and you have a lesser ability to manage all of these different areas of life, because life is hard. Life is a hard game, and that's why I had to design it like a hard game. And within any game, there's an attribute system that tells you about all the different areas that you need to invest in order to get different results from investing in different attributes. And so I'll tell you them soon, but just to intuitively understand it, you'll get it really quick by just looking at these pictures. Basically, strength is everything to do with physical health. And when I scroll down, I can see the distribution of all the different things that I've done in my life just by naturally using my project manager. I'll show you what my projects looks like. It just looks like this. It's a really simple view. I have a bunch of sub-projects within a main project to kind of keep me accountable and to see the progress that I made, because most of these are achieved. But the thing is, as soon as I achieve one of these things, like I actually did here, I'll show you. It was setting up the Gumroad sales page for Life Game Design. And basically, by setting up this page, it automatically becomes an achievement. So this isn't a system where you have to enter in your projects and then you have to enter in your achievements. This is automated. Every project you put in becomes an achievement when you achieve it. And that's how it should be. Because beyond this, I'm gonna show you some good source of this app. Beyond this, once you get into year and season reviews, and another big gripe that I have with other Notion templates is that when you go to reflect on your year, you've already put in all the data of all the things that you've done in your life, and now they're making you type in this lame-ass document that says, what have you done this year? What are some goals that you achieved? Blah, blah, blah. And it's all just text, and it's boring as fuck. And this is the mentality of corporate business thinking and corporate business Notion template creating. Like, do you see how much this pisses me off? I swear to God, I'm not a game designer myself, but I wish game designers made these kind of things for us. I'll show you what happens when you have all of your achievements categorized in the year. I'll show you what last year looked like for me, so you get an idea of what it looks like when you put your whole year onto the system. And literally just by creating all the projects that I would do throughout the year. I'm going to go into all years and see what it looks like in every different year of my life, but I'll focus on last year, 2023. Basically, I'll go to this all years tab, then I've got all years projects, and I can see either a tier list or an OctaCore understanding of what my year looked like in 2023. So I'm going to hide this year in 2024 and have a look at what my year looked like in 2023. I'm just going to make this larger so you can get a good feel for it. Basically, all these different columns, actually, let's switch to dark mode. I should have done this from the start. There we go. Now you see it. Now you really get like an intuitive understanding. And again, I'm going to turn these. Oh, should I turn these into pictures? Let's leave it. Let's leave it with the context so you can kind of get a feel for it. Basically, since I know all the different areas of life, and since my projects are categorized in all these different areas of life, when I come to look at what I've done throughout the year, it instantly tells me all the things and the distribution of the things that I've done in my life. And this means when I scroll down, I can see what areas I'm lacking in and what areas I have strengths in, what areas I've been focusing on, and the level of achievements that I've made. And basically, as I keep scrolling down, I can see, okay, I've done more in here, and it really lines up because last year I moved my house. This section over here is to do with life admin, your house, routines, your lifestyle, all that kind of stuff. It's what people put in a folder called personal usually, and that pisses me off because personal, bro, everything is personal to you. This is the most, I swear to God, this is the most aggressive tutorial you've ever seen, probably. Anyways, yeah, I moved house and I put all of the things to do with that in my project manager. And then again, with creativity, which is this section over here, me creating this app for the last 4 months has been the most massive thing. And intelligence, reading all these different books on the OctaCore framework to build it. I read so many books to understand about all these different areas of life, to get that understanding, to understand basically, how many times am I going to say understand? To realize how these areas of life influence each other. And by plugging it into this system, I know exactly why I feel the way I do about the current state of my life, because I put everything in here. And usually what happened before I had a system to visualize what this looks like, basically I have a piece of paper with all these words on it. And if I look at all those words, I don't really know what that means in terms of how my year looked and what different area of life I was focusing on and all those kind of things. But literally, instantly, as I open this up, I can see all the different memories I've had. I can see all the projects that I've worked on. I can see all the books I've read. I can see all the realizations that I had in my life to do with life force, this column here. All the developments in my relationships and things like that. And this is probably the best feature of this app. The fact that you have an automated achievement system and you have it tied in with the OctaCore framework, meaning that you know exactly where you're at in life and where you can improve and what you want to do within all these different areas of life. Should I keep ranting or should I do the tour now? I think I should do like the actual tour now. All right, now I just want to give you a quick tour of like the best features within all of these different sections of this app, because honestly, the reason why I keep calling it an app is not because there's something actually insanely different apart from the OctaCore framework or apart from the achievement system. But the reason why I call it an app is because it has everything you need to organize your life. Whereas all the other Notion templates are giving you the ingredients. With my background as a chef, this is how I see it. Basically, if I gave you the best ingredients in the world, the highest quality that you could ever find, if I gave you those ingredients, but I didn't give you a recipe, you wouldn't know what to do with it. And in my career as a professional chef, I learned that a recipe and a framework is the key difference between a good souffle and burnt eggs. All right, so I'm going to show you the dashboard and I'll show you how these navigation pages work. And then I'm going to show you all of the best features, just the best features in all of these different hub views, utility views, short-term views, and year and season views. So let's get to it. First, you've got areas, which show you all of the different areas of OctaCore over here. And let me just zoom into it. And basically, this gives you a guide as to what these different areas are, because this is not a framework that you have to remember at the top of your head. That is going to take a while. Really, what I want you to do is understand it by the colors and the context of what they are. And that's how you will learn it first. You won't remember the names of all these things, but you're going to remember purple is to do with your physical health. You're going to remember blue is to do with all your life admin stuff. And as you use this system in every facet of your life, when you manage your tasks, projects, notes, and also use it in your calendar, you're going to get it really quickly. And even if you forget, you can come back here and check it out and understand it. So coming out of the dashboard, I can either access the pages of Special or the OctaCore framework. I need to tell you that Special, the OctaCore framework makes an acronym called Special, and it's inspired by the Fallout series, but it's changed quite a bit. But really, I just don't want you to tell Todd Howard. Okay, so now we know the achievement system. We're familiar with that, and we understand that it will show us the distribution of all the different achievements that we had, and it shows us these really cool pictures as well. That's like a really minimal view, and it's kind of like a vision board style thing. And I've also got a real way to make a vision board that we're going to follow up with later. But let me show you what the normal projects looks like. So achievements are to do with projects, but when you look at your like normal projects view, it's mostly to do with things that are active projects. So things that are focusing, in progress, and awaiting. So in the dashboard, you just get really minimal views. I can see what I'm focusing on, so I know exactly what I should be doing and not procrastinating with all the other things that I have going on in my life, like over here. And I can access it in a tab just like this. I also have a calendar of all the projects that I've got going on for today. And going into tasks, it's quite the same layout. I intentionally made it so projects and tasks share the same status. So over here, I'm going to zoom in so we can get a good look at it. So over here, we have the to do, which is bucketed and awaiting. We have in progress, which is actioning and focusing. And we have complete, which is achieved and archived. So for projects and tasks, they're identical. And if I come down to notes over here, it shares a similar status where I have focus, active, and archive. And it's the same with areas. So you don't have to learn about all these crazy different statuses. They're all quite similar and shared between all the different main databases. So this is where I have the overview of everything that's happening in my life. But if I want to dig down and see more granularly or separate out these different databases, then I have the hub views. So the hub views are over here. I can access it and see that they are made of the main databases. And these are the most simplistic views of each database. Let me show you the projects. And so again, just like in the main dashboard, it just has these simple views, but it lets me see it in just a single thing instead of having everything quite cluttered around me. And so my projects is made of, again, the first and foremost is the focus. And then I get to see all of my different active projects within a table view so I can see all of the details. And these are all collapsible so it doesn't get, again, too messy. And especially using the focus tab or shifting things to other statuses that are hidden really helps me clear out all the ideas that I have in my head. Because one of these things that are hidden is the archived, achieved, because we have a tab for that itself. And especially bucketed. And bucketed projects is basically what I use to create a vision board. Again, I'll show you soon. It's really cool. But in terms of active projects, this is how we manage the day-to-day, manage the month-to-month, and the season-to-season. And so again, I can see all of my recent achievements like this. It will show me everything that I've done within the last 2 weeks. So I can really get a feel for what I've been paying attention to, what I've been watching in terms of Diary of a CEO, the kind of feelings I had. I've been reading Marcus Aurelius, obviously watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. I take pictures of the meal prep I've done, and craziest thing happened. We were at the beach and there were orcas in the water with us. Freaked me the hell out, but it was awesome. And on that same day, we saw a seal at the waterfront. Absolutely beautiful. And I get to record these memories and talk about them when I come into my project manager. Over here, I also have a weekly calendar of everything I've done, a monthly one as well, so I can see what's coming up, and a timeline view. All right, let's get into the real cool parts of this. I'm going to teach you about what all of these different areas of special actually turn into, because sure, this is a cool framework to give you a conception of these areas of life, but how is it actually actionable? And this is what my mission is with life game design, with this philosophy and with this channel, to make everything I share with my audience as actionable as possible. Because I know literally all these other YouTubers just want fame. They just want to be like, oh, I have this many followers. So okay, rant mode. What does that mean when you have all of these followers? How are you helping them? Are you just inspiring people so they feel good about themselves without actually doing anything? Or are you giving them tools and frameworks to make a difference in their life, to make a tangible difference in their life, instead of just shrinking them in this trap of making them feel like they're getting ahead just by watching you? Okay, at this point, I don't even know if I should call this a tutorial because it's literally just a rant. But I'm gonna upload it anyways, I don't care. Okay, so this is the strength page, and all of these special pages are identical, but they're like all color-coded according to the different areas. And basically, if I go to my strength page over here, like I said, they're all identical, so I have the sections, I have some quick actions over here, and I have some links that I can optionally put. In terms of my databases, you know, links to websites that have to do with physical health. Maybe it's something like MyFitnessPal or whatever. And so if I look over here into areas, I can separate all the different areas to do with strength without having to see them with everything else. Because when I've seen like other Notion templates that don't have a separation of life buckets, basically, once you put in too many of these, you just get a wall of areas of your life, and there's no way to separate it and understand what is related to what. I do have a space where you can look at it like that, but when I'm just trying to focus on my physical health, all I want to see are the areas to do with that. So this lets me look at it, and it actually lets me put in focus areas as well. So let's say I'm really focusing on my health at the moment, and I can set that as a focus area and let it be there just so I can really understand that everything else is irrelevant at this point, and I just need to focus on my health. on my physical health. We've looked at achievements before, but now that we've added the context of the OctaCore framework and separating it out, we can like really granularly understand what are the achievements I've had in every area of my life, because I know that you're probably thinking of achievement as like, oh, I got a promotion at work. Oh, I got a new partner. Oh, I got this and that. And again, it's really like metric based. It's all the achievements that society has told you are achievements, but they aren't the things that actually make you fulfilled. And this framework, I first intentionally made it, the special framework, I first made this out to be how to understand. I'm just going to give you a diagram here. I intentionally first made this framework to understand all of the information that I have in my life. Okay, I have everything to do with physical health, I want to put it in this folder. Everything to do with life admin, I want to put it in this folder. But I slowly realized that what I was creating instead is a way to understand all the different areas that I can find fulfillment in. And this made me understand that if I put a bunch of energy and effort into this area of life, it will produce this result. And if I put a bunch of energy and effort into this area of life, it will have a tangible effect on this different area of life. Really hard for me to explain in this video, which is why I'm creating a series of podcasts where I help my friends review their year based on this OctaCore framework, and then we go through and break down how each different area of their life, focusing on different areas, especially like experience, which people in the productivity space have a really hard time understanding, and which is why they don't understand why they can't take a break, because they feel like, again, this is the biggest thing that pisses me off. We are being encouraged to design our lives like a corporate business, which means that people feel bad and they feel like they're not being productive if they take time off, if they go out into nature, if they watch something that inspires them, and all these different things that make them who they are, that enrich their lives. But they feel this stupid amount of guilt for doing those things. I have got to put in my script that I'm not allowed to rant for more than like 2 minutes. But anyways, back to the point. I can see all the achievements that I made in all the different areas of my life. And this is another level of how good the system is in terms of the achievements. Basically, at the end of the week or the end of the month or the year or whatever, whichever interval I decide, I can rank my achievements. And the thing is, everything starts at bronze. Let me show you what this looks like. These are all of my achievements, and I choose to rank them so I can understand what are the most fulfilling things in my life. Because again, if I find the most fulfilling things in my life, I will work hard to get more and more of them. So everything starts at bronze, and it's your choice whether you want to move them up into silver, gold, or even diamond. So let me show you that these are the things that automatically end up in bronze, and everything goes up if you choose to. So you can choose to go up into gold or into diamond. I skip silver because I guess I just haven't had that many like kind of good things happen here. But here's something that I did. One amazing thing that I'd love to remember and that I do appreciate is finishing my Invisalign. I invested in Invisalign. I think it was about $8,000 in New Zealand dollars. But it was the best thing that I ever did because I was always very conscious about having like a slightly crooked smile. It was honestly not that bad, but it always got to me. And so this is one of my diamond achievements in the whole of my life because it's probably the best investment that I ever made. And I can literally see what are the things that really fulfill me. And I can separate them out between each area, or like I showed you before, you can see them all next to each other and really map out what fulfillment looks like in your own life. Because again, you're going to be told what things are going to fulfill you, but you're not going to be given a map to understand what that looks like for yourself. And that's what we all need, because I can't tell you what is going to be fulfilling for you, but I can give you a map and a compass to see what direction that you want to take that into. So I can either see it by the tier list, and again, I can see just by the pictures again, or I can see by the breakdown of every single year. So I can see a chronological list of all the things that I've done within my physical health. And again, like I said, it's similar within each different area of life. So if I wanted to, let me show you something cool actually. And let me show you something that is going to make all the productivity gurus cry, because they will tell you that you have to have more metrics. You shouldn't be watching things. You need to read more books. You need to do all this boring shit. Michael, stop ranting, bro. Oh my God. Okay. So I can see all of my best achievements within experience, and experience is about anything to do with leisure. Lately for me, it's been both watching anime and surfing, which I'm getting into, but also hikes and stuff. I love hiking. And so, yeah, I can see what are the most fulfilling memories in all time. And it's right this over here. If you want to know exactly who I am and what I resonate with, I can literally just show you this. And it doesn't have to be some bullshit fake highlight reel on Instagram. This is who I really am. And I don't have to feel the pressure of knowing that it's going to go out on social media or anything like that, because I know that there are things that are so meaningful to you that you don't have a space to share them, and you don't have a space to appreciate it by yourself in your own time. And those things just stay on your camera roll. And it's fucking sad. That's why we need to put it in a system like this. And so I can see what are like the things that I've done in every single year, again, for experience. So yeah, that's the achievements. Projects is pretty much the same, but again, projects is just looking at the active projects mainly. And then, okay, I finally got to show you. I built it up way too much. This is the vision board. These are two main things that I want to do. I want to see the Aurora and I want to do a Kratos cosplay. Basically, by using that bucketed status that you can see here, like I explained before, you can set up a vision board for yourself based on each different area of life and really understand what is a thing that will fulfill you in the future. But the thing is, these things aren't really actionable for me now, so it's not really a good thing for me to see right now and immediately. What's really important for me to see is all the work that I've been building up towards, because I think the idea that when people say like, oh, you need this vision board so you can really head towards your goals, the thing is, those goals are probably set for you in 5 to 10 years. It's the story of the carrot at the end of the stick, but that stick is like a mile ahead of you. So you can barely see this carrot. It's so far away from you, and it's so unrealistic that it would motivate you to walk towards it. But instead, by using your achievements and really building, like I said, like Alex Hormozy has said, building that undeniable stack of proof that you are the person that you say you are. I can say I'm the person who enjoys going out for a surf because I've done it so much. I can say that all of these TV shows and anime and things like that really inspire me, especially at the gym with all the music that goes with it. I can really prove to myself that this is who I am, and these are the things that resonate with me. And I understand so much more about myself because of it. Let me go to another area. Let me go to intelligence to show you what notes look like. I'm going to skip over tasks because it's literally the same as projects. I just enter them in. I can see my active tasks, my focus. I can see a priority. This is actually pretty cool. You can set your priority and set it between different statuses. So between things that are focusing, if I just want to focus on things that are focusing, I can set the priority there. But if I want to set the priority of something that's an action, I can either move it up and across to urgent and important, or just keep it there. This is based on the Eisenhower matrix, and it's simplified instead of using 2 database properties. Anyways, let's skip over to notes, which is what I wanted to show you. And so you can see how they're categorized. Basically, you have 2 references of organizing all of your different notes. First, you have the OctaCore system, which is basically within intelligence. Intelligence is to do with your learning, finance, and planning. So it's everything you learn, and intelligence is the area of life that you can push over into all these other different areas of life. Everything I learn here can be applied to other areas of life. So I keep things like my worksheet on the book from Alex Hormozy, $100 Million Leads here, because I know that will flow on to all the different other places that I'm going to use it in the future. I put on apps that I have, and I can categorize them by something like website, or I can categorize it by media. So I can see like, okay, what are the YouTube videos that I've seen recently that I want to look up again so I can reference them for a new project that I'm creating. I also have a tab here that shows you your links, and it shows you just your links and the most recent ones as well. So I could just be like, oh, there was a note that I just recently put in. I can't remember what it was. So I just go here, I go to my links, and I'll be like, oh, it was the anime GIF background wallpapers. Literally, if you just search this on Giphy, you just come up with these really cool wallpapers that you can use. And especially it ties in with being able to put it into your achievements over here, because there's some really cool stuff. So that's it for the tour of the special pages. I'm going to show you the best features in all of these different views right here. We've already done the hub views. So let me zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about here. So it's the hub views, which we've already covered, so I won't do that. The utility views, short-term views, and year and season views, which you saw a little bit of already. So let's hop into utility views, and this is where we can see that vision board that I talked about. We have a recently edited page, which is really handy for things that I've just looked into. And we also have a capture page that really quickly helps me capture everything in the day. And then I have the source over here, which is the vision board and all the different ways that I can look at the vision of my life. So basically, if I look over here at Envision projects, it will show me it in terms of OctaCore, or I can see it in terms of the different years in a table. And I can see it in both the OctaCore and the year. So basically, I can set intentions for each year of my life way ahead in the future. And the best thing about this vision board is that it's absolutely actionable. Everything here is already a project. So as soon as it goes from this status of bucketed to either awaiting, progress, or focusing, or even achieved, that means that it turns my vision into a reality. And I think a really important feature of doing something like a vision board, like we're doing our achievements, is ranking them. Because the thing is, you're going to have all these ideas in your head of what you would like to do, but you probably have no idea about how fulfilling those things would be, because you don't have a system to understand what that would even mean to you. And the thing is, if you just literally rank them, this is completely arbitrarily in terms of this ranking system: diamond, gold, silver, bronze. I don't have a set framework to what each of them means. It's literally how it feels to you, because nothing else matters. Everything in your life should be designed by you. And so just by putting everything in bronze, putting all of your aspirations in bronze, and then ranking them up as you see how they make you feel, and then you can figure out these are actually going to be the most fulfilling things that I could do in my life. So I want to make a plan to get these things done. And talking about getting things done, we actually have a page for that, and it's called the planning page right over here. So after the vision board, we have the planning page. Let me go into that. And so the planning page has 3 phases. First, it's obviously planning. You just write out in these boxes here, what are all the things that you would like to do in your life, basically. And then you can see what projects you already have going on to see if you're overlapping things. So you do your little brainstorm over here, which I've prepared for you. And then you can go into your projects, and either you can even drag and drop them into here, and it will automatically create it as a project. And so after that, the next step is to go to the priorities. So now that we have our projects that we know we want to do, next we need to set the priority of what we're actually going to do. So for me, I've already done this where I've had everything, all of my effort and energy into 2 things: strength and creativity. For strength, I'm fixing a shoulder balance to do with my shoulder so I can get back to full force at the gym. And then everything else is putting into my creativity, into making life game design the movement it should be. Giving people the actionable tools, frameworks, and philosophy to design a fulfilling life for themselves. And again, it's using the Eisenhower matrix. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that you have in progress. And then the thing is, once you look at it and you're like, it's in progress, it's either important or it's very urgent and important, then you can decide, actually, this should be my focus. Or you can be like, no, this thing is really important to me, but it's kind of on the back burner. It's a passive project. It's not something that I'm doing every day on the day-to-day. And so from categorizing what are the priorities of your projects, then you can actually figure out when you are going to do them. So this only shows you the projects that are focusing, in progress, and awaiting. So it doesn't show you everything that you've already achieved, because this isn't the time to reflect on those things. This is the time to plan and figure out, okay, What is our plan of action? How are we going to get it done? And importantly, when are we going to get it done? Because if we don't set a time to do these things, then are we just going to think that it's magically going to happen for us? There is no such thing as this manifestation bullshit. We need to plan and design our lives continuously as we go on. So I can go over here and look at the projects that I have to see if I want to time block them. And the cool thing is I can even time block within the individual projects. I'll show you what that looks like. So this is my meal prep project for 2023. I literally put everything that I'm meal prepped in here, and then I line up all the things that I'm going to do. So for today, it's enchiladas and sushi, but let's say I didn't have a date for this, right? And so instead of going here and trying to figure out, oh, what have I got in terms of all the other things in my life to see if I actually have the time to do this, I can scroll down into time blocking, into projects, into the sub-projects of this project. I can see my calendar and only the things that are active. So they are in progress, focusing, or awaiting. And so I can literally take this, drag and drop it into my calendar because I'm actually doing this today, and drop it in there to be like, okay, this is the day where I'm going to do this sub-project. And I can see that now it has a date. And so just dragging it and dropping it there really helps me easily time block literally all the different things in my life, because I have projects that have so many different sub-projects that I really need to granularly time block them to make sure I can get everything done and that I'm being realistic with the goals that I'm setting for myself. So let's go back to utility views. I want to show you, we've seen the achievements. I'll show you that already. Seen archives. Let me quickly show you focus and then we'll move on. So focus, like I said, the first thing you have to set is your intention of what area of life are you focusing on? Because let me show you something. The book Essentialism tells you that you only have a finite amount of time in life, and especially with these different areas of life, if you combine those two understandings, that means we have a limited amount of time and a limited amount of time to put into each area of life. So that means we have to prioritize. And the thing is, what I learned from this book, especially in reference to my OctaCore framework, is that if we try to focus on all of our different areas of life at once, we essentially barely get any improvements out of it. So this is what it looks like. Let's say we start off at this gray line here, and when we focus for 3 months in all the different areas of life at once and try to make the gains that way, then we can see just a little bit of a tiny improvement in terms of the baseline. Because if I spend 3 months trying to focus on balancing all the different areas of my life at the same time, something's going to slip. And when that thing slips, it's going to be way harder to maintain because I actually haven't put in the time, effort, and energy to develop that skill to such a degree where it becomes automatic for me. So let me show you a tangible example of what that looks like. When you learn a new skill, it takes a lot of effort on this side, and it takes a lot of time for you to improve a baseline. So this is your baseline, this white line over here. This is the baseline where you want to end up at. And basically the baseline of a skill is like riding a bike. Once you learn to ride a bike and balance on a bike, you don't have to practice it anymore. And that's a lot like with any skill. Or the thing is that if you do have to practice that skill, the effort that you have to put in to maintain that higher baseline is so easy. So if we think if effort is up here, it only takes a little bit of effort every few months just to maintain that skill we developed. And if we think about developing skills in that way, and that means if we choose to improve a few areas of our life in few seasons of our life, that means that we will make far more drastic changes in terms of these different areas of life, and everything else is so easy to maintain. In the template that I provided everyone, I set the focus area for intelligence because they'll be learning about the OctaCore framework and how to use life game design. But for me personally, I'll set this to strength, which is, like I said, fixing my shoulder injury, and creativity, which is my endeavor of bringing life game design to the world. And so I can see the focus of all the different databases in my life. So I can see what is the focus of the areas in my life? What are the focus projects that I have to do with those areas? What are the focus tasks I have? And what are the notes that are in focus as well? Just because I'll have a bunch of notes that are active, but I can pull like let's say a few, to just make them really clear. So let's actually do that now. Let's see what that will look like. So let's say I really want to focus on the aesthetic of what my Notion will look like. I can put this animated GIF wallpapers website note into my focus section so I can see it at a glance. Whenever I come into this focus page, I can be like, oh yeah, here it is. Let's go back and change some of the wallpapers that we were using. All right, I think that's enough of the utility views. There's not much more to talk about. We've seen plenty of examples of the achievements, and the archives don't really matter. Archives is archives. And you can access all these different views from the shared dashboard over here. So let's go into the next one, which would be short-term views. So the short-term views is really inspired by an app called TickTick, which is a task manager, and it really has this amazing categorization of your tasks by the days or whether it's overdue. So we'll have in this order: overdue, yesterday, today, tomorrow, this week, next 7 days, and this month. And that really helps you categorize everything. But the problem with TickTick is that it's literally just for tasks. You can't do that for your projects. So I combined those features into this app to show you. And let's see what it looks like. Basically, if you go to today, you can see all the tasks you have today and all the notes that you've edited today as well. But because the projects are so widespread, projects are things that you're meant to do over the course of a few days, usually. I've made it so that the project shows in everything up to today and yesterday. So I can see all of this week's projects in this view. And this is me actually showing you the template that I'm offering. Let me show you what it looks like in my own workspace. Here's what I've got on for today. I can see all of my projects for this week, and I can see them and allocate them based on the status. I can also see a OctaCore breakdown, which is really important, of what my week is going to look like. And I can literally tell just from this one glance what it's going to do for my mood. This is how I balance my life. This is how I understand balance in my life. I understand that life is inherently not going to be balanced. So it's about understanding that, okay, for this week, I am doubling down on my creativity. And the only time I really have to experience and take leisure is when I have times to eat and stuff like that. But I think it's important for me to accept the fact that that is going to happen and not be sad about the fact that, oh, I could be doing this, or maybe I should be reading more books because this productivity YouTuber said so. But no, for me, this season of my life is to focus on bringing this to the world. And so I can really just set that intention. Anyways, going on to today's task, I can see all these different views of how my day is going to be. So basically, I have a status breakdown of my day, or I can see it by priority in a table view, or I can see it in this kind of list here, which I haven't done because I know exactly what I need to do today. It's recording these video tutorials. But these icons give you a way to understand all the different ways that you can see these databases. And I can see everything that I've fidgeted with today. I could see all of today's notes that I've edited to this day. Before I recorded this video, I was constructing the sales page, so that's why that's here. And it's really handy for me to reference if I need to go back and change something in it. So let's go back up to the short-term views, and I'll show you something really cool, which is the breakdown of this month, because within this month, you can see all of your different achievements. And again, it will show you a tier list of the things that you've done this month. And so I can also see an OctaCore breakdown of all the things I've done this month as well, because it will tell me exactly why I feel the way I feel. And the reason why this is empty, because it is the 1st of March. So everything's reset. It's just showing me the two things that I've done today, which is set up the sales page. My dad made some longboards for surfing, and we just tried them out today, and it was pretty good. So that was a quick breakdown of the short-term views. Let's go into the next and final one, which is the year and season views. And this, I've already showed you, but I really love this because it shows you how to focus on each different season and how to set the intention of each different season. Because if I go into here, into season 1, I can see all of the projects that I have to do with season 1. I can see all of the tasks that I have to do with season 1 as well. If I scroll down, I can see all of the tasks with focusing, actioning, and all those kind of things. And I can also see all the notes that I created in season 1. And just to be clear, season 1 is the same as quarter 1. But again, this is the app for gamers. This is not designing your life to be like a corporate business. This is designing your life to be like a game. And so I have a way to really appreciate all the different things I've done within the season, see how it looks like based on the month even. I can see a chronological view of all the things that I've done between January, and I can separate that out from February, and also March, which is this month, which has just started. So I've just got 2 things there. But even then, that's actually really good. But I can see a literal gallery of all the things that I've done up until this point, and it will teach me exactly why I'm at where I'm at, and exactly why I feel the way I feel about putting my effort and energy into all of these different things. I can also use the tier list to see what are the highlights of this month. And you can see it straight away. Some of the best memories that I've had this month are absolutely amazing in terms of experience, in terms of developing relationships, which is attachment, in terms of creativity, some awesome things happening with the Life Game Design app itself, doing some awesome podcasts with my friends, hiking up to this amazing view of Mount Taranaki, having the best surf of my life one of the days when we went surfing with my dad, and especially getting freaked out by seeing orcas swimming with us when we went out surfing. And so every month I can come here and be like, what are the things that actually fulfilled me and inspired me to do more and more of those kind of things? Because I know, especially for me 5 years ago, I would consume so many things. I would watch so many things that actually didn't engage me, that actually didn't make me laugh. And the thing is, if I didn't put them in a system like this, I would just keep on consuming without actually realizing what is going to help me. What is actually going to help me bridge the gap between what is the life that I want to design for myself and what is the life that I actually have. So a breakdown of the year and season views, I can really show you within just the season, because each season is identical and the way that it's laid out is identical. So you have the projects page here, which is a combination of planning and achievements. If you go into here, into projects, then you can really separate those out. So I can have a planning page just for season 1. If I really want to meticulously plan out everything that I'm going to do within the season, this is my page for it. Or I can really and meticulously appreciate all the things that I've done within this year by looking at a month breakdown of everything I've done, by looking at a tier list of all the amazing memories that I've made, and by looking at the OctaCore distribution, especially between each different month, because each different month is going to look different. But if I scroll down here and see the difference in the gaps, see these empty spaces and see where the focus is, and I'll just keep scrolling down, and that was for January, and so I can see what that looks like for February. And honestly, my intention has been exactly this, just focusing on creativity. And the reason why I experience this so much is because these are the only 2 things I have time for. But the thing is, you're probably in a completely different season of your life where it probably wouldn't look like this. And to give you the fulfillment that you want, again, it probably won't look like this. You have to discover what that looks like for yourself. But if you don't have a system to understand the different areas of life that you can find fulfillment in, you won't get there. It won't just magically fall onto your lap. The life that you want won't be created by itself. You need to design it. And I'm really hoping that this is a tool that will help you do that you will take action into doing that, because this is free at the moment. But when it goes live, I'm not going to lie, it's going to be very expensive, because I'm going to give away the 2 best features for free. But for the people who are power users, for the people who want everything, including the projects, tasks, and notes, all correlated into all of these different databases and different views of seeing things. So that's the end. And I know that this was more of a rant than a tour, but I guess that's just how it is. Maybe I'll change this video, who knows. Basically, if you want this, go to the link in the description and it will show you how to get it in your hands. At the moment, like I said, it's absolutely free until I release it as a paid product, and I'm looking for feedback. I really want to make this the best productivity app for gamers, because out of every single person, I think gamers have the most potential out of anyone to be more successful in any different area of their life than anyone else, just because of the nature of games, because games are so engaging. It's not like when you watch a movie and you just sit there like a potato. Even if you're emotionally engaged in a movie, it's completely different to literally having to have skills to be a part of the story, to play the game well so that the character does what the story envisions it to do. And if we take that level of engagement and apply it to our own lives, That is the key to a fulfilling life. I'm talking to myself here. I used to put all of that effort and energy into those games, into designing an amazing character to be able to play the game really well. But I realized that I can take all of that energy and put it into my own life, develop my own character, understand what I find fulfilling, and understand what really makes me feel alive. And you can see it. This is it. I love this shit. I love sharing frameworks with people. I love developing the frameworks, and I love helping people actually take action to sort out their lives and not just feel like they're getting better, which is the trap that I see, like I said, 90% of YouTubers make you do, because all they want to do is make you watch their content, and all they aspire to be is the person that inspires people, not the person that gives people the tools to help them actually change their lives. I'm gonna go get something to eat. I hope you don't miss out on this chance for yourself to really design a fulfilling life. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.